Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. So I'm going to give you a rundown on all the books on my pull list, some top of the pile type stuff, variants you should keep an eye out for, things like that. Basically, a quick rundown on everything you need to be aware of before you go to your shop to pick up your books this week. Now, hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's list, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro and I will be right back. All right, so at the time of me recording this, I'm not aware of any secret drops or any ash cans or any special things that you need to go to look out for your shop, a one per store or anything like that. So we are going to get right into the top of the stack. Now, these are my top of the pile books I just can't wait to get a hold of and read this coming Wednesday. And to kick us off at the top of my stack is one of my favorite reads right now. It's getting near the end, but we have one issue left, I believe, and that's We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. Just enjoying this series. It's sci-fi, it's fun. I like it. It's just something I've been looking for to kind of read lately. And like I said, I'm enjoying it. Multiple covers here. This is the cover A. I kind of prefer the B, I think, in this instance. I like the kind of the picture-in-picture kind of quality there with the background. And I also kind of like the C as well. So tight race between the B and the C. Either would do for me to get to get for my collection, but you choose whichever one that you like. And if you want to go the incentive route, well, there is a 1 in 25 option here as well if you'd like to go that way. Personally, I don't think I need the 1 in 25, even though I have got a few of these incentives. I'm fine with just, like I said, the B or the C for myself. Now, the other series out of Image that actually is ending here with this final issue that I really enjoyed this run is You'll Do Bad Things. Can't wait to see how this wraps up. I like this cover A with the end, the blood coming out of the computer screen. I dig it. I also like the B cover here as well. It's solid. And we do have a 1 in 10 option, not a 1 in 25, but we do have a 1 in 10 option, which again isn't too bad. I haven't gotten many of these, but I did get a couple of the incentives. Here, I think I might go with the A or maybe the B. I don't know. I kind of like the A, so I think I'm just going to go that way to wrap up this series and get that final installment of You'll Do Bad Things. Now, as this is wrapping up, another series is rolling into its second issue, and that's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees Rite of Spring. So continuing on, we're back in Woodbrook. We'll see what our favorite serial killer bear has in store for us as we continue on with this series. I love the Tony Fleece movie poster homages here. Those are the ones I'm picking up personally. So the Natural Born Killers, callback here is pretty fun. So that's the one I'm going to be getting. There are other options as well with the storybook edition, which again, these are kind of cute. I kind of like these too, but I've already committed to doing the movie posters, so I don't want to be multi-buying if I can avoid it. And then all three of these do have Virgin editions, which are the incentives for this book. So we'll look at the 1 in 10, the 1 in 25, and the 1 in 50 here as they go down the line. So each of the issues, 3 covers, 3 Virgin versions. They're the incentives. Pick up whatever you like, at this point. Speaking of Tony Fleece, I can, again, continuing to enjoy The Thing. I didn't think I was going to like The Thing. I mean, he's never been my favorite character, and I'm not a big Fantastic Four guy, but I have enjoyed this series so far. It's coming near the end. It is just a mini-series after all, but we're almost there. This is issue 4. We're getting near the end. Enjoying it, so looking forward to reading another one. Just going to get the cover A because I'm not a big fan of these iconic variants by Todd Nauck. I'm just kind of over them. Way too many of them, in my opinion. And yeah, I just prefer the A. So I'm just going to get the A. But there's an A and a B option here. Pick whichever one that you like. Moving on. I thought about doing a whole separate segment for these, but there haven't been a lot of one-shots related to Imperial, so I'm just going to stick them in here because, as you know, I'm a big fan of Imperial. I love the cosmic side of Marvel. The cosmic stuff is really some of my favorite stuff, so I'm really looking forward to these one-shots that are tying into the Imperial miniseries. So we have a Black Panther one-shot here. This should be fun. Looking forward to this. Cover A. There is a B cover as well as a C cover as well. And then we will take that C cover and take the trade dress off of it, and that will also be our 1 in 50. So once again, one incentive if you want to go for it, but I'm fine with just the cover A. Kind of matches the look of the rest of the series, so I'm probably sticking with the A for this book, as well as the next one shot, which is the Planet She-Hulk. Once again, another one shot tying in with the storyline. Looking forward to it. Cover A here. Pretty solid cover B, honestly. Granted, the sword is kind of reminiscent of Wonder Woman's, Absolute Wonder Woman's sword, which is also kind of a callback to Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. So, again, it is what it is. I mean, Iron Man's even rocking one of these huge swords these days. Huge swords are all the rage, apparently. So, with that, B cover, not bad. I like the tigers. Pretty cool look. And I really kind of like the 1 in 25 here. It is an action shot, kind of a callback to Planet Hulk from back in the day. So I like it. Now, that is the top of the stack type stuff for me. So I know there were 6 books this time. Again, no hard number. I'm shooting for about 5, but depending on the week, there could be more, there could be less. But outside of the top of the pile, top of the stack type stuff, I still have a very full pull list of other books that, again, I still want to read all of these as well. It's just I'm going to probably read these after those. Starting off first with the DC side of things. I mentioned the Absolute DC book, so we've got 2 coming our way this week with Absolute Martian Manhunter coming in with issue 6. Cover A, we got cover B options, we've got cover C options, and we've got a 1 in 25 as well as a 1 in 50 as per usual for this title. So once again, pick the one that you like. The incentives have been kind of fun. I kind of like the 1 in 25 better than the 1 in 50 in this case. Though I do kind of like the whole kind of meta thing with reading the comic book and the pages kind of flying out. But I think I do like the 1 in 25 a little bit better. I'm fine with the regular books, though. No need for an incentive for me. But speaking of Wonder Woman as well with her big sword, we getting the next installment of Absolute Wonder Woman with number 11 here. Kind of a fun cover A with this kind of negative space with all the blood and bloody gashes and the tattoos showing. But not to be outdone, we got this, I think it's a Derek Chu, her with, again, her big sword. Everybody's got a big sword these days. And then we got a C option as well, if you want to go that route. So all these are pretty solid. I'm actually good with any of them. And the 1 in 25 is also not bad. I'm not going to pay up for 1 in 25, even though you can find these for pretty cheap these days. I'm fine with just getting one of the get A, B, or C's, whatever, a dealer's choice kind of thing. Kind of ends up my way when I pull my books this Wednesday. With that, we're going to stick with DC a little bit longer because I've kind of gotten hooked on reading Green Arrow lately. It's just a good read. So if you like a good read, interested in some DC, give Green Arrow a shot. I'm liking it these days. Arsenal's missing. We can follow up on that storyline here. But Legacy issue 360, but it's actually issue 27. Only a couple of covers, all open order. You've got an A, which is solid. We got a B, which is kind of a fun callback to that wedding Black Canary issue. I don't know. The cover kind of reminds me of that. And then I really like the Bruno Redondo covers that they have. I didn't make a whole separate segment for the Redondo covers, but I did do a short that will drop later this week because he had one cover come out like 2 weeks ago and then another cover, and then we have like 6 coming out this week. So it was just kind of imbalanced, but I do like them all. They're all kind of different flavors and different vibes. And here's the Green Arrow one. I like the silhouette on the brick. I dig it. I don't know. But with that said, Green Arrow is an option for you to pick up this week, as is Green Lantern. Now, I know I've had Green Lantern and some of the other books kind of on the fence here or there because I'm enjoying it but not loving it. And, my pull list is getting more and more expensive. I kind of have to start making some cuts here or there. Same with my streaming services. I know how you're all feeling it too. But Green Lantern, number 26, I'm just kind of at the very least seeing through this Starbreaker Supremacy storyline. So at the very least, I'm probably just going to pull through and hang in there for this and then see where we go from there. But issue 26 is part 3 of that storyline. And then we've got a couple other options here with, again, hey, look, who else has a big sword? Yeah, another big sword. Green Lantern. Then we got a nice little moment here with Star Sapphire. And then we've got a Bruno Redondo cover, which is a different vibe than that Green Arrow. So you got Green Lantern and you got Green Arrow. I kind of like how the look of it. It looks like the symbol of the lantern with the planets and the sun. I'm assuming it's a sun in the background. Just gotta dig it. Oh, and there is a 1 in 25. If you want to go that route, there is a 1 in 25 option here as well. And again, surprisingly added to my pull list, even though I'm trying to make cuts. I gave it a taste test and I kind of liked it. Now I'm just going to see it through to the end. Mr. Terrific Year One. I had said I didn't want this. Who cares? I was wrong. It's an interesting read, and the movie proved me wrong. The movie characterization of Mr. Terrific kind of sucked me in and got me enjoying the character a little bit more than just being a side character in JSA, which I did like his run throughout JSA as a character. It's just I didn't think I needed a whole miniseries focused just on Mr. Terrific, but I don't know. I'm good seeing this through to the end. We're already up to number 4. Enter Batman. Cool. I really like this Dan Mora cover a lot, but the B cover option is also pretty solid as well. You pick whichever one you like. I'm probably going to go with the Mora. Now, Geiger, continuing it on. Ghost Machine, enjoying most of the books there in that sub imprint over at Image. We are getting Rook back soon, I heard. I think in a couple of months. But Geiger still going on strong. Issue 17. 3 options, as per usual. A, B. I kind of like the B here, I think. And a C, which is sort of a character design cover. But I hate that it's on its side, so I'm not getting that one. I'm probably going with the B. But in case you like it, I want to give you a better look at it here. Yeah, because I just hate when the books are sideways. It's just annoying to me. Personal preference. I don't like the book sideways. But there you go. Monstrous. We're getting the next installment of Monstrous, which I don't have to keep telling you every time I do this. I'm got a lot of catching up to do with reading Monstrous, but the art and the right, I'm gonna enjoy it once I catch up. It's just I gotta catch up. But Monstrous 59. Wow, we're already up to 59. Feels like Saga. When I fell behind so far on Saga, I'm still kind of a little behind on Saga, I think. Anyway, issue 59, Monstrous. Getting this added to my pull list. Also added to my pull list, this news from the Fallout. We're getting near the end, so I just kind of want to see this storyline through to the end. It's a little bit different. The art style is interesting. It kind of is a little more palatable to me right now because of David Lynch. I recently went to like this David Lynch presentation. Like they were out my way. We had some of the actors. They showed one of the episodes, and it reminded me of the Twin Peaks: The Return episode, the one where we had all the creepy monsters in the dark and the dude going into the radio station crushing people's heads. It kind of gives me this vibe, so I'm kind of digging this for that reason. It just reminded me of David Lynch. But news from the Fallout coming out here, Old Joe's Diner. I like the cover A, but the cover B is a lot of fun too. Almost looks like an old newspaper pamphlet of some kind. Old school sci-fi. I kind of like it, so I might grab the B in this case. But the A is fine as well. Also going to, stick with this one for a little bit longer. The Voice Said Kill. Yeah, first issue wasn't bad, so I'm at least on board for the second issue. It's only 4 in total, so I might just read this whole thing at this point. But here we go. Second issue of The Voice Said Kill coming out. Cy Spurrier and Del Rey. And then we got a 1 in 25 option here. So you got a cover A and you got a 1 in 25. So that's really your only 2 to choose from. I'm fine with just the A. I don't need to go incentive route here. But if you want to, there's the 1 in 25. Continuing on, we've got Void Rival still rolling on strong with the Energon Universe, issue 22. 2 covers as per usual, A and a B, and then our same listing of incentives that we have every time out with a 1 in 10, which, as you know, in the Energon Universe is a connecting cover set. So I'm going to show you them all. Here we go so far. I believe we've got 4 in this set so far. So there we go. We'll see them rolling on. Those are the 4 for that set. And I think that might be it because that seems quite balanced. And then we might get a new one to start another story arc. But there is also a 1 in 25 option if you want to go that way. And even bigger than that, there is a 1 in 50, which actually is a pretty solid cover. But it's a 1 in 50. I don't think I want to pay the premium on that. So I'm just going to have to pick between the A and the B personally. Benjamin. I like this odd, little sci-fi tale. I've liked it so far. Yes, the description is very, very long. A lot of text trying to sell you this book. And usually I hate it when they try to oversell you with these long descriptions. But it's kind of needed, I guess. But I don't know. I'm liking this. And again, I still think Rainn Wilson would be a perfect guy to adapt this. Because we don't have Taggart with us anymore. From Beverly Hills Cop. He would have also been a good option to play our Benjamin here. But cover A, We have the B cover, which I actually do like. These kind of like old paperback kind of vibes. So I've been getting the B covers. But if you like the A, you can get that also as a virgin for the 1 in 10 if you are so inclined. But like I said, I'm just going to get the B cover for myself. Wrapping up, Dan Panosian's The Last Boy. I believe this is the final issue of this series. Maybe there's one more, but I think this might be the end. I like this cover A quite a bit. It also is Dan Panosian, and I'm a little biased, as you guys know probably by now. There is a B cover as well as a C cover, and it being Boom, you can guess that, yes, we will take all of these covers and give you virgin versions for an FOC open order, a 1 in 10, as well as a 1 in 25. So pick whatever you like. With that, only one cover on our next book, and it is one of my favorites this week. It's just creepy. It's just, I like it. That's all I can say. I like it. The Pale Knight, interesting read, dealing like with the Black Death. We've got death and death's work, going back to the 1300s. I don't know. I'm liking this. So issue 4 coming out. I'm into this. Only one cover to get, and it's good. Moving on. Death of the Silver Surfer. Sad to see my Silver Surfer be getting told a death story, but hey, all good things come to an end. With that, is he betrayed or is he the betrayer? I don't know, but we have issue 3 to find out with multiple covers. With the cover A, we've got a cover B with a nice shot of Galactus there, and then pretty solid Simon Bianchi 1 in 25 if you want to go the incentive route. I like it. I don't know if I want to pay for it, but I do like this. But I do like Surfers. I'm a little biased. Up next, Predator, Black, White, and Blood. While I didn't love all of the first issue, it was like good, okay, and then I'm hoping we get something similar. So there's just one good story in here in this anthology. Though I think we need to try to underuse. They use way too much green in the first one. Just because, yes, that's the blood of the Predator, but they overused it in some of the stories just for other color ways. So I don't know, just too much green for my taste. Just focus in on when it's the Predator's blood. That would be my tip for this. But with that, we've got issue 2 here, cover A. I like the Gonzo B here. This is probably going to be the one that I get because I really like it. And I'm probably not going to pay up for the 1 in 100 that is on its way because there's also a 1 in 25. Pretty solid, like that too. Just don't want to pay for it. And as I already mentioned, the 1 in 100 is pretty good. I just don't want to pay 1 in 100 prices. But I do like it. So I'm probably just going to get the B cover of the Gonzo. Moving on. I'm only getting the regular Star Wars title and Afra. That's what I've cut it down to as far as Star Wars comics go. I just can't afford them all. Can't keep up with it all. I can't even keep up with these, but these are the 2 I'm sticking with. So Afra, Chaos Agent, issue 3, getting this. Yeah. Her and Han. Cool. Cover A, that's probably going to be the one I grab because I don't like these, anniversary covers. I'm just over them, and it's just they're not as fun when they're dealing with the prequels to me. I don't know, but I just don't care for this all that much. And then nor do I really like the C cover with Han not knowing how to run by bending his knees. It's like, what is he doing? He's running like it's one of the action figures, the 3 3/4 from back in the day, just straight legged. I'm going to run like this. He just looks awkward. That's all. So the A is probably the way I'm going because I do like the 1 in 25 here, but there's just way too much empty space. Like she's too slender. Like we could have taken a different angle or different perspective or zoomed in, something to fill this cover a little bit better. There's just way too much empty space for my taste. Even if with the trade dress filling some of it, just that whole side, it's just there's nothing there. But with that said, I'm just going to get the A. Ultimate Spider-Man still rolling on. Yes, this creative team will be leaving after 24, but I believe this book will still continue. They'll probably set it up in a place for the next writing team to take it over, but I'm going to see this definitely through to the end. So here we go. Issue 20, Ultimate Spider-Man, A, B cover, as well as a 1 in 25 option here as well by Dan Panosian. It's all right. Again, I'm a Dan Panosian fan, but I don't feel the need that I have to go and pay 1 in 25 prices for this personally. So I understand it if you don't either. It's all right. It's okay. I'll just put it like that. With that said, X-Men 21. Well, Uncanny and the regular X-Men title, I'm going to get them regardless. So issue 21 is coming out. Going to be getting this. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get. I might just go with the A, though the B is not too bad. So A or B, I don't know yet. But I'm probably not paying up for the 1 in 25 because Juggernaut looks weird. His head's way too. His helmet is just doesn't look right. Something don't look right. And also Magic's stank face. It's not a favorite. Not a favorite of mine. So I'm probably not getting the 1 in 25. But with that, before we move on, any of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, use the link down below and get yourselves free 15 bucks. That's right, 15 bucks to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. I will go back on there eventually to do another sale, but you don't have to spend that money with me. 15 bucks, spend it wherever you like just to try it out. You help out the channel, you get yourself 15 bucks to spend, so you got nothing to lose if you haven't tried Whatnot out yet. I think we got some time until the next round of mystery packs go, because mystery packs seem to be a thing these days. Even DC's got them coming. Marvel's got them coming. Mark Spears Monsters has them coming. Mystery packs are coming. And they're coming in droves. But with that all said, let's go and take a look at a couple of blind picks that I have for you this week. And yes, I did say a couple because I think I picked 2 this week. I might have only gone 1, but let's see what I chose. And again, this is something I've got no preview, no insider knowledge, anything like that. I'm just thinking these are going to be good just based off the creative teams and past history. And I think they'll probably be worth picking up these first issues, because that's what we're talking about here with a couple of first issues, starting off with First and Elseworld's tale of Batman Immortal Legend. It's kind of like a Power Ranger vibe Batman done by Dan Mora and Kyle Higgins, who's done Radiant Black and that massive universe or whatever. So I think this could be entertaining. So I'm going to check this out, and I think it's probably going to be pretty good. Dan Mora cover A. There is a cover B option here, which is also available in a foil along with a sketch cover. So you can get any of those, as well as this little ditty, which I actually really like, which is the 1 in 25, which just, I don't know, it just looks really cool. It looks like the box of a Shogun warrior. Yeah, so I kind of like it. With that said, I don't know if I'm going to pay 1 in 25 prices for it, but I might. But I might. If I can find it for like 15 bucks, I'm in. But with that, I'm going to check out this series, and I think it might be pretty good, as is the Mortal Thor. Yes, that's right. Immortal Thor ended, and now we have the Mortal Thor. I mean, it's new Thor. We got to give this a shot, right? The legend begins here. Cool. Al Ewing, I'll give it a shot. Cover A, Alex Ross. Can't go wrong there. We do have other options, though, if you want to go other covers. Jeffrey Brown giving us this sort of a kid-style cover. We're getting a few more of these days. We're getting a blank, as well as a Joe Quesada, if you want to go that route. Pretty cool. It looks really flat, though. Like 2D. Like, his body just looks really flat for some reason. I know a lot of Joe Q's style is kind of that way. Has a little bit more of a flat look, but I mean, usually he gives us some sort of rendered cross-hatching or something to give us some sense of texture. This just looks really flat. We do have other options, though. If you don't like any of those, we can go this way. You can go foil. You want shiny foil? I kind of like this Patrick Gleason. I don't know how it'll look in foil, but it'll probably be pretty cool considering it's all lightning. So I do like this cover. But like I said, I like it with or without the foil at this point. I just like the art. But I'm not as crazy about the 1 in 25. I think it's David Marquez. It's just kind of meh. It's just the banana yellow background. It's just kind of bland, I guess. I don't know. Just something missing here. But if you like the Joe Q, that is the 1 in 100 without the trade dress. So there you go. With that, I'm bringing back the taste test this week because there are a couple titles, again, that I think I want to dip a toe back in the water. Give them a shot again because I'm just kind of interested. With that first one up, Superman. Yes, I know it's a summer Superman. The movie was good, yada yada, etc. While I'm not into all the different Superman titles we're getting or the Action Comics throwback to more Superboy tales, this seems to be kind of leaning in towards the upcoming KO series that we're going to be getting with Darkseid in the future. So Legion of Darkseid Part 2, I'm kind of interested because I want to see if this is, how this is going to tie into the event that's coming in the fall. So I think I'm going to go back and check this out. So issue 29, Long Live the Legion, pretty solid cover A by Dan Mora. Again, right up there is one of my favorite artists running right now. But other good covers here as well. We got a David Aja on this B. We got another option for you over here if you want to go this way. We got a Tula Lote if you just want to go and focus in on Lois. We've also got the Bruno Redondo giving us part of his Artist Spotlight collection here. Not bad. And then we actually have a foil edition of that cover A by Dan Mora. If you want that one, we'll take the trade dress off and make it a shiny foil version. And then we also have a 1 in 25 option if you want to go that way as well. I'm going to get one of the regular open order covers, whether it be the Aja or the regular cover A, or maybe there were, I don't know. I don't know yet which one I'm going to get, but a lot of good options on Superman this week. The other title I'm just going to kind of try is the Avengers. I haven't read the Avengers in quite some time, but they're kind of like explaining the missing moments. So they're kind of explaining a mystery, and I'm kind of curious of what that it might be. Just curious. Yeah, maybe it'll spoil things because I haven't been keeping up with this tale and haven't been building towards it, but I want to know what the Grail is and what the connection is to Secret Wars. I'm just curious. You sold me on this cover, so I'm going to try it out. This is the cover A, and then we do have the B option here, which is kind of the character spotlights they've been doing, and then they take those and also make those the 1 in 50s by taking the trade dress and everything off there, but you still keep that big white stripe. Cool. I'm probably just going to get the A because, like I said, I just want to read this thing and see what we're talking about here. With that said, before we move on to the rest of the show, also, anybody who needs supplies, use my code RENA10 over at BCW to get 10% off your entire order. Get your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your CGC boxes, top loaders, pages for your cards, basically anything to keep your comic books or collectibles safe. You could probably find something over at BCW. And if you're going to spend that money on those supplies, you might as well save money while you do it. So use my code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order. You help out the channel, you get yourself a discount. Once again, I say it all the time with these little ad breaks. We got to lose, so give it a shot. With that said, One World Under Doom. Yep, we had a week off, and now we've got a new issue coming in this week, and then we're getting like another week or two off. For some reason, it's a lull in One World Under Doom, but I really wish they'd just wrap this thing up. It's just dragging on, it seems. But here we are. Like I said, been 2 weeks since we've had an issue, and now we've got one issue that ties into this storyline, and it is the Runaways. So Runaways issue 3 tying into One World Under Doom. This is our only installment connecting it all. We're still in the 60s. If you're buying all of the connecting tissue to this story with the core issues and all the tie-ins, this is like tie-in number 63 or something. It's craziness. But you've only got 2 cover options here. You got an A, you got a B. I kind of like the skateboarding look on the B, but I don't know. A's not bad either. Get whichever one you like. And with that, we're going to move on because, again, that's the only One World Under Doom we've got. But we do have the end of Bring on the Bad Guys. No, not the variant set. We already wrapped those up. But as I've done before, I'm still using this for this Bring on the Bad Guys sort of connecting one-shot storyline. There was like 7 one-shots that all kind of connected. And here we're getting the last 2 parts this week. So we're getting part 6 in the Bring on the Bad Guys Dormammu, and then part 7 after this. So part 6, we got the Lee Bermejo cover, pretty solid. You got the Sister Sorrow cover, which we've gotten on all of these. We've got another option here, focusing in on Doctor Strange and Dormammu, which is pretty cool. Miguel Mercado has been giving us these villain kind of spotlights. It's almost like an encyclopedia entry in like those character books. No, explaining all the Marvel characters. That's what these Mercado covers kind of remind me of. And then we've got the iconic variant editions by Todd Nauck. Like I said, I'm just over these, but we're still getting them. And then we've got a 1 in 25, which again, I'm over this shtick of doing the Fantastic Four 112. This one's not even done well. This I don't like it. There's 2 characters here. This is not the same. This is a forced homage. I don't like it. I don't like it. Again, and you've done this 6 times already. And we got one more. Just enough. And then we got a 1 in 50, which will take the Sister Sorrow cover, and that's the Virgin book that you'll get for the highest ratio, as they've been doing this whole way. And since we're talking about the whole way, here's the end of it. ending with Bring on the Bad Guys, Mephisto, Libramejo on the cover A. Pretty cool, pretty creepy. I like it. Other options here as well. You got a B cover. We've got a C cover here with the Fight Against Doom. We got the Mercado, as I mentioned before. And then we've got the Sister Sorrow cover here. Again, they put her name right on the cover. Cool. And then, yeah, we've got Todd Nauck, iconic because, well, I guess we need it. And, yep, we need the Nuff Said face-off. This one, at least, it looks like the homage. The other one, 3 people instead of 2. I don't like it. But that's the 1 in 25. And then once again, Sister Sorrow, take the trade dress away. That's the 1 in 50. That'll wrap up the Bring on the Bad Guys MacGuffin story of those 7 daggers. It's 5 daggers, whatever the heck it is. But yeah, that'll be wrapping up this week with the 2 issues. But with all that said, there's still a lot of books that'll be on the racks that I didn't list here because I can't afford everything. I know everybody's got a budget. We can only buy what we can buy. But we can still try to keep up with what's going on in all these other books and maybe entice you to try one of these books that are on the rack that you might not normally pull. Maybe even entice myself as I go through the list. As first we have Part 6 of Bad Moon Rising with The Flash. I'm kind of waiting for a good jumping on point for The Flash because I just can't get into it. I've tried to get in on the Spurrier run and I just felt lost and I'm just kind of waiting it out, I think, at this point. Or I got to go back to the beginning and read it all. One or the other is going to happen, but the latter will probably happen first. But we have issue 24 of The Flash, A cover, get a B cover, and we got a C cover option here. I kind of like the C if I were getting this, though I would most likely get the Bruno Redondo here because, well, I like his covers. And like I said, I'm showing you a handful of them already. They all are different vibes. It's not just, hey, we'll draw a character doing a pose and that's it. They all are unique in some way, which I like. Harley. Yeah, I'm not a big Harley fan as far as reading goes. I mean, like we're in the movies and cartoons, TV shows, etc. Just comic-wise, I'm just not an avid Harley Quinn reader. Issue 53 is coming out, though. Pretty cool. David Nakayama cover. If you want to go that way, you can. We've got a C cover option here as well. Pretty fun. And there is a 1 in 25, which ain't bad either. Get them if you like them. Justice League Unlimited still going on. I do like the Dan Mora cover. It's just one of those things. And he also does the art inside, which I don't know how he gets all this work done. But there's a lot of covers and being able to do interiors. Not bad. I just can't keep up. So Justice League Unlimited it's been in and out of my pull list. But for now, it's right on the rack. There is a Zerdy cover here as well, if you want to go that way. This is very anime kind of vibe. We got this option here. Then we got another D. There's like always a lot of open order for the Justice League Unlimited. And then we got the Bruno Redondo doing Plastic Man. Once again, another vibe, another look, another flavor. And then there is a 1 in 25 focusing in on the Question, which it's kind of cool, but I don't know. Something about this pose looks awkward. I don't know. It's just something weird about it. Like, I'm trying to figure out how she's standing with the chair. Like, how her arm is over there, but her leg, I don't know. It's just something about the positioning of the chair. And it's on, I'm assuming it's probably on wheels. Like, I feel like she's going to fall. With that said, final issue of Peacemaker presents Vigilante and Eagly. I just couldn't really get into this. I get it. They were going for the tone of the show, which is back, and I still want to watch it, by the way. I'm probably going to try to do that sometime this week, but I just couldn't get into the comic. I couldn't get into this particular comic, this Black Label, but it's 5 of 5, so it's all wrapping up. If you've been on board with it, this is the final issue. So there you go. You got a cover A option, and there is a B, and there is a C. So pick your favorite. This was the one Robin too many because there's so many Batman and Robin titles going right now. I just couldn't hang. Jason Todd, unfortunately, he was the odd man out. As per usual, right? But Robin and Batman, I'm just not picking this up. Personally, if it's good, please tell me. Like I said, we've got the other Batman and Robin. You've got the Batman and Robin Year One. We've got this one. That's just the Batman and Robins. There's 3 titles running right now. And then you got all the different Batman books. It's way too much. And you throw a detective and dark patterns, and oh man, it's a lot. It's just a lot. But with that said, this is the cover A. Solid B cover here with this Wraith character. I don't know much about him again because I'm not reading this. And then we've got a C cover also focusing in this Wraith character by Clayton Crane. And then we have a Jim Lee cover, which, as much of a Jim Lee fan as I am, I don't really care for this. Yes, I get it. It's kind of basic. Robin looks fine. There's something about Batman's pose that just something's not sitting right to me. Like, I feel like his leg might be a little short for the lean. Like, I know he's lunging forward, but I don't know. Something about it, when I look at it, it looks a little off. But hey, it is what it is. Jim Lee cover. And then we have a 1 in 25 option here by Kyle Hotz. I want to say Holtz. Holtz. I always get this dude's name wrong. But pretty cool cover. But that is Robin and Batman. Going over to Ghost Machine, Hornsby and Halo is up to issue 9. Again, this was just one that didn't catch me. I mean, I got it. The whole Good Omens kind of thing we were going with. Also had kind of that preacher kind of vibe with the demon and the angel. I don't know. I just couldn't get on board with this one. It wasn't that it was bad. I just, again, got to draw the line somewhere. But issue 9, cover A, there's a B, and there's going to be a C. That's how these Ghost Machine books have been working. 3 covers, pick your poison. My favorite's probably the third one, if I were to be getting this. Lost Fantasy. I believe I am just getting all of these because I ordered them, but I'll admit it, this wasn't what I expected. So even though I think I have this all in the rack, I think I've actually had this pre-ordered, and it's in my DCBS order to come. But if I had it to do over again, I probably would just leave it on the rack. Because it's just, I don't know, I just didn't care for it all that much. But we are getting a giant size finale, so this is it, issue 4. Big sword. There we go, another big sword. Then we got the video game covers, and those are the ones I've been getting. But again, big sword. Cool. And then we'll take both of these and give you some incentives that are black and white versions. So there's 1 in 15 and a 1 in 25. Going over to the Spawn side of things, I can't believe how many Spawn titles there are these days, but Rat City is up to 17. 2 covers here, A and a B. This is another series that just didn't grab me. Like, I don't know, I just didn't care for it all that much, but I know people are enjoying this futuristic tale. Cool. Scorched. Covers have been pretty solid, but again, it's not a title that I read. So issue 44, you got the I can't remember the angel name. This thing. Redeemer? Was it Redeemer? And then we've got a Bjorn Barron's option there. Cool. Deadpool Wolverine, because, well, they'll try to sell us anything. It is Benjamin Percy, and I did enjoy like the first issue, but then I just lost interest after a while. Started getting into Strife, and I just didn't care. And again, gotta draw a line. But we're up to issue 8, so if you're still on board, you got a cover A option here with a new mutant called Legacy. Okay, cool. We do have some first, like, dribbling out here. I think that Wraith character might have been pretty new. We got this Legacy character here. You got these 2 fighting it off in the B cover. And then we've got Strife on the 1 in 25, if you want to go that way. Then we do have Fantastic Four Fanfare, also up to issue 4. Anthology storylines of the Fantastic Four. Just not for me, but I get it if you're into it, especially with the movie, again, which was good. Maybe you're a little extra on board for the Fantastic Four right now, and you want more stories. Me, I don't need them, but here we go. Cover A, cover B by Bagley. And I think this is a connecting cover, but I don't feel like try to build it out, so use your imagination. And then there's a 1 in 50. Yeah, it is a hidden gem. I don't want to. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Looks like Sloth and Drag, but I don't know. It is what it is. Not my favorite. Moving on. Incredible Hulk, issue 28. I do like this cover. It is creepy. These Nick Kleins. It really gives you that horror angle of Hulk that we've been getting as part of Philip Kennedy Johnson's run. Granted, I was on board for a while, and then it kind of dragged for a while, and I got jumped off. it looks like we're getting to a point where they're going to be starting over again, yet again, new change or status quo. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out soon again, but I do like this cover. There is a Greg Land if you want to go this way, more classic Hulk look, but I kind of like the creep factor, the other one. We got the kitty version with the Jeffrey Brown if you want to go that way. I'm fine. Again, I'd rather go the horror route than that. And then there is a 1 in 25 option as well. Again, some of these Marvel books might have other variants that we'll get to when we get to the JSCs later. So just keep that in mind. Jeff, the Land Shark. Can't believe we're at issue 3 of this series, mini-series, whatever the hell this is. I don't care personally, but I get it. People like Jeff the Land Shark. It's kind of a fun little side character. I just don't think it needs its own title. But we have it. Cover A. Uncanny callback here. Yeah. Wolverine, Cap, and Black Widow. But yeah, but different. Sure, different. C cover option here as well. And then we do have a 1 in 25 if you want to go this way. And there is a 1 in 100 Virgin version if you want to get that. Cool. Now, here's a book that I'm on the fence about checking out because it is Miles Morales, Spider-Man. He's still building out his Rogues Gallery. I do like Miles, and here we are getting a couple new characters. We're getting the comic debuts of a character called Inari and new champion White Cat. Yeah, so we're still rolling out new champions. But just in case, this will probably be one to keep an eye on. And there's multiple covers here as well that'll focus in on some of these newer characters, both of which are on the cover A, mind you. But then there's specifically a Peach Momoko, and it's called Character First. But, okay, she's on the other cover too. But there you go. If you want to go that way, there's that option. There is a 1 in 10 design cover of this Inari character as well. And then we go to the 1 in 25, which has the White Cat fighting it with Miles on that one. So pick whatever you like. Keep an eye on them. That's all I'm saying. Who knows? I don't think there's going to be a lot of action on the 1 in 25, but the other ones, who knows? I mean, a lot of these other characters, Power Lift took off. So it wouldn't be a stretch if people start picking up this book. Like I said, I'm kind of curious. So I may grab one just to give it a read to see what this new character is all about. But we also have Phoenix with some solid covers here. I usually end up putting Phoenix in the cover section, and I almost did again. But either way, still stay on the rack because I'm probably not picking them up. Issue 14, the Lucas Vernick. And then there's a Joel Jones, which is really solid there as well. So A and a B. Pick one or the other. Spider-Verse versus Venomverse is more stuff that I really don't need, despite the fact you're trying to lure me in with Leopardon. I mean, I like Shogun Warriors. I like a good mech and got Kaiju Venom thing. You're teasing me, but at the same time, I don't ultimately care for this. Leopardon is cool, though. But with that said, cover A, there is a B cover option there with all the spiders dangling above all the Venoms. Yeah, cool. And then we've got Evil Knievel as Spider-Man as a 1 in 10 design cover, or whoever this might be. I thought it was Evil Knievel, but maybe it's Speed Racer. I don't know. I'm not reading it. But new number ones. We do have a handful of new number ones coming out as well, so let's see what they are. A few kind of interesting things here. Some maybe not so interesting. Hellboy and the BRPD. Cool. Mike Mignola on the B cover. I feel like I need to read more Hellboy, but there's a lot to read. I got all those library editions, hardcovers. Maybe one day when I retire and I got a lot of free time on my hands, I'll get into reading all those. But I do like Hellboy as a character. And I just don't pick up all of these BRPD comics because, again, time and money. But kind of curious. We do have this Masterminds cover A starting here. Reading it, it sounds like it's talking about video game programmers, and I'm getting like a Squid Games kind of vibe out of it because of this cover. But Secret Society, video game programmer, or whatever, could be interesting. A and a B, and a 1 in 10. So there's your 1 in 10 by Bjorn Barons. Nemesis Forever. I don't know. I've kind of gotten over the Nemesis character. I get it. What if Batman were bad? But I don't know. Just doesn't excite me anymore. Maybe also the move to Dark Horse. It just feels like they've been pumping out like a lot of content, and I just can't keep up with all of it. But there is a cover A, as well as a B and a black and white version of the cover A. So get whichever one you like. They're all open order. Then we're also getting Stitch, which I know isn't something we normally would put on a show like this covering the Disney books, but I know somebody who really likes Stitch. That's right, Dom. So he's probably going to be picking this up. I don't know which covers because there's a shit ton of them. But here are just one versions because it's being Dynamite. You know, there's like 5 versions of each of these covers, as well as a whole 3-paragraph. Way too much text to sell us this book based on Stitch. Like, seriously, what are you explaining? Who are you explaining that to? Like, it's Stitch. But A, B's, Jay Lee, a couple of sketches, and then just a character head. And then we got this one over here as well, which is actually really cool. I like the trees and the leaves of the pink flowering things. I know it's a cool look. But moving on, there's also a Star Trek Strange New Worlds book coming out. I'm not a Star Trek guy, but some people are. And yeah, you're getting a new #1 from IDW. Yeah. Cover A. There is a B. There is a photo cover. And there is I believe it's a 1 in 25, which is a black and white version of that cover. Oh, I forgot to put the 1 in 25 up. But this is a 1 in 25 of that cover A. So, cool. We're also getting Shredder. Yeah, they've been teasing this for, feels like months. And I think there's a lot of store exclusives too. Or maybe there's not a lot. But I just feel like I've been hearing about this Shredder book coming out for a while now. And it's finally here. But I don't know if I really care. It's Shredder. Cover A, yep, blah, blah, blah. Dan Waters, Dark Patterns, Nightwing, okay. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe I'll give it a try. Cover B is kind of cool. C is also a solid option. And then there's a sketch. So any of those will really work, honestly. And then we got a foil version of the cover A. So there's a foil of that. If you like one shiny, you can get that shiny. Then we can go to the 1 in 25, and we'll bring the other book back up because that's a black and white is our 1 in 25. Also, kind of a cool look. New art for the 1 in 50. So you can get that if you want to go that with the... I don't know why there's 2 suns. It's like we're on Tatooine all of a sudden. But cool. Or is that supposed to be a red moon? I don't know why it would be so huge, though. Just, I don't know. A lot of questions. And then there's a 1 in 100. Yeah. A lot of Shredders. And we also got a lot on the Invisible Man. So Invisible Man. Tynion. I always mess up his name. But the Invisible Man issue 1, more of the Universal Monsters being retold here. Danny is the artist. This is the cover A. Not bad. I mean, all the covers here are pretty solid. I believe this is a Middleton on the B. Then we've got David Aja giving us a 1 in 10. We'll bring the Middleton back and make that a black and white for a 1 in 25. Then we've got a 1 in 50 option here too, which is kind of cool with the smoke inside the invisible head. I like it. And then we've got Alex Ross just doing a sketch cover. It's not even fully painted. It's just an Alex Ross sketch cover on the 1 in 75. And then probably my favorite of the bunch, but it's way out of my range, a foil 1 in 100 by Christian Ward, which is just a really cool look. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. But I'm not paying 1 in 100 prices. With that, we apparently have a one-shot oversized book that is a fictional telling about Jack Kirby. So a new tribute to Jack Kirby, but fictionalized as Jack King. Okay. It's $10, oversized, from Image. Pick it up if you want it. Mad Cave's giving us this Red Vector story, which kind of reads like it's a... I don't know, space opera starting here. I don't know, we're getting like a Last Starfighter taking place in the desert. I don't know. And she's like a park ranger or something. I don't know. Could be interesting. Cover A. Really sci-fi looking cover B, which is kind of cool. Red Vector. And then we're getting a new installment of a new prequel series for Dune. Once again, I feel like I should be reading these Dune books, but I just don't. But I like it. I like the movies. I like the new movies. The Villeneuve versions. I'm a fan of. feel like I would probably like these comics, but again, time. But here we go with Edge of Chris Knife. Edge of a Chris Knife. I don't know. Whatever. Cover A. There's a B. Then we do have virgin versions of these, which are the 1 in 5 and the FOC. And then there is also a 1 in 10. It's because they're Boom. You know, Boom likes to do this. There's also a 1 in 10, which is a virgin new art, all on its own. Going over to Marvel, Doom 2099. We got a one shot. Doom 2099. Derek Chu doing the cover A. We got a B cover here. Doom on a Throne. Always cool. We got another option here. Doom on Doom. Here's a foil. Split Doom face by Dan Panosian. Cool. We got the Marvel Rivals version. Looks like a Iron Man mech. Also, cool looking. There's a 1 in 25. Not bad here. And then we'll take that A and make it a virgin. There's our 1 in 100 by Derek Chu. Cool. And then finally, last new number one I'm going to cover here is X-Men Tooth and Claw, which basically prints up some of these X-Men from the Ashes. First time in print, those online stories or whatever. So they're printing them. Here we go. Cover A. And then a Beast League cover B by Rod Rice. Facsimile time. Moving on to facsimiles. We've got a couple. Not a lot. We got a couple. So we're getting near the end here. Getting near the end of the show with facsimiles. Starting off with first Lex Luthor. Action Comics 23. That's right. Lex Luthor. Just going by Luthor inside of here. There's also a foil version of it and a sketch cover. Facsimile of VR Troopers out of Boom. Cool. VR Troopers. First appearance. Getting in on that facsimile action. And then there's a 1 in 5 with new cover art. Yeah, 1 in 5. Weird. Then we're getting the X-Men continuing here. 138, classic, facsimile, and then 1 in 25, redone art here. I don't think you can redo it better. It's solid, the 1 in 25, but that first one is iconic, even with the shopping spree right there at the top. And then finally, we have Marvel Zombies getting in on the 3D action here. It's like 10 or 15 bucks. I don't know. These things are expensive just to get these in 3D, but it's technically a facsimile, I guess, just made in 3D. So I put it here. And then we'll get on to later prints. Not a lot, but we do have a couple. We do have a couple here. So let's start it off with our first one, which is Ghost Pepper. I like this stuff. I like this series. I don't know if we need a second already, but we're getting one, as well as a foil edition. So it's not an incentive, but we're getting a foil version of that art churn if you want to get a shiny copy. I like both covers. Then remember that Tama book that had that Pokemon video game homage? Well, they're getting a second print, and you're getting two. And they're based off of the Pokemon cards, so you're kind of getting that vibe. And then you got the, Pokemon Evolve or whatever. Yeah, you're getting like the Evolve version. Cool. Fantastic Four First Steps. This book got hot. And it was selling for a little bit there. Now we're getting a second print. No incentives, just the second print. Godzilla versus the Marvel. Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe. Also getting a second print here. And a 1 in 25 black and white. And then we've got your last installments. Well, technically there's one more coming, but it's not coming until October. Of the JSC, Just Spectacular Collection, J. Scott Campbell covers over here at Marvel. I got a short coming out on a Wednesday, covering them all, including the one that's going to come out in October. But here we go. Avengers 29 has a cover featuring Iron Man and a 1 in 100 Virgin. That Bring on the Bad Guys Dormammu has a Doctor Strange cover, as well as a 1 in 100 Virgin. Death of the Silver Surfer, focusing here on Thanos. We got the regular order, as well as the 1 in 100 Virgin version. Cool. Imperial War, Planet She-Hulk. We've got a She-Hulk. And a 1 in 100 Virgin version. And then we've got regular Hulk. So Hulk 28, also getting Hulk. And a Virgin version. Getting rid of that trade dress. Mortal Thor, issue 1, Campbell, and a 1 in 100 Virgin version. Feel like I'm getting redundant, but you know what they are. X-Men, Storm, on X-Men 21. Yep, there's a 1 in 100. And that is it for this week. I'm checking this off as being wrapped up, but like I said, there is another book coming. That Marvel Knights Worlds to Come #3 has gotten delayed. It's not coming till October. That has a Black Panther cover. I'll have it in the short, but again, that book's not coming out till October, but I'm retiring this segment until then. I'll show you that cover when that book comes out. But moving on, Cheesecake covers, not a ton here, but we do have a few. So going through them, we do have a couple options, starting off with Red Sonja. Well, these aren't very cheesecakey. The character Red Sonja kind of is. These Army of Darkness covers have really not really been, they've been more horror than cheesecake, but I've still kind of thrown them in here. Just going to finish it off because I believe this is the last installment. So there we go. That B cover is a little close. That kind of fits. C cover, not so much. The zombie, that's kind of more creepy than Cheesecake. And then we've got, reminds me of End of Raiders. Just close your eyes. Don't open your eyes or whatever you hear. It kind of reminds me of that. Except without the scorpions. Then we're getting Sonja Reborn. Ooh, Stepan Sejic doing this cover A, I believe. Pretty solid. Yeah. So we're getting a new Red Sonja series here. I didn't mean to have that happen again with the new text, but we are getting a Middleton cover, which I really like this. I like it a lot, actually. We got this option here. It's like Sonja meets Times Square. Cool. And dinosaurs. And cosplay. So yeah, pick whichever one you like. Like I said, I like the Middleton. I'm still just keeping Emma Frost, the White Queen, in here. Because I just feel like that's what these are for. Nakayama on the cover A, solid. Fan Yang, I believe, did the B cover here. We've got one of those Marvel Comics Presents with Emma reading a comic. Nimitz doing a pretty awesome cover there. All of these are really good, as you can tell. And then we'll take that Fan Yang and take the trade dress off of it, which is good because it's sideways. I don't like the sideways trade dress. 1 in 50. Cool. Then Vault is giving us some options with Lilith. Yeah, I mean, this isn't very cheesecakey, but this one is. The 1 in 5 gives me more of that vibe. And then we're going to also get Virgin versions of these for the 1 in 10 and 1 in 20s. So you got those. And then there are a couple of black bag. I can't show you the covers, nor do I have access to show you the covers before they come out. But the 18 and older, not suitable for work covers. There'll be a couple of those. They're not the only ones doing it. They're also going to be on Money Shot. So Money Shot #4, just a fun series too. I like reading these. It's pretty fun. But yeah, A and B, you know, the content more so than the covers really scratches that cheesecake kind of area. But yes, these also have 3 different versions of these black bagged, polybagged adult only covers. So there'll be 3 of them if you're interested. With that, speaking of covers, couple of covers that I randomly like that I have just here near the end of the show. Just kind of throw them out there. Starting off with this Green Lantern Dark #6. It just looks like a Sandman cover. I dig it. I like it. By Alex Ekman-Lawn. Just like it. West Coast Avengers has had solid covers this entire run, but I could not read this book. But this cover A by Casanovas, solid, as well as the B cover, which I had to include here as well with the Ultron. It's just cool looking. That's it. While I like those covers, they're not the best of the week. My best of the week are these 2 books. Starting off first with my favorite incentive of the week, which I mentioned, I just like. It looks like a box for Shogun Warriors. I just dig it. So it looks like, it reminds me of the boxes, again, for the old Shogun Warrior toys. It's just cool. But Matt Taylor, 1 in 25. It's my favorite incentive for this week on Immortal Legend Batman #1, Elseworld Tale. And I also told you my other favorite cover is that Pale Knight. One option. I just like it. I just like it. So Nick Marinkovic, solid cover. I like it. It's my favorite of the week. And with that, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I know this is coming in a little bit late, but I'm trying to get myself back on schedule coming off my vacation. I'm not quite there yet, but I'll get there. Got to get through this weekend too. Got a busy weekend ahead. Fantasy football drafts, Labor Day picnics. You all know how it goes. Everybody's got plans. Everybody's busy this weekend. So after this, I'm hoping to get back on track. But with all of that said, thanks for all the support. Thanks for hanging out and checking this show out. And I will see you all later with some more content. All right.